it's just everything's not falling back in on each other. But the only difference is in terms of accessibility is because all the things in Elden Ring are in the previous games. Like magic is still OP in the previous games, pyromancy is still OP in the previous games. They're just there, but there's just more of it. There's more of a selection for you to choose from.
Right. And the thing is, people, but the reason why I say it's more inclusive because it's open world is that people have a boner for open world games. I don't know why. Because they're not all the same. Because they're not all the same. Not all the same. I mean, like, they're not all, like, most of them are just.
Yeah,
like Elden Ring,
that's where it's going to be interesting to see how Light No Fire enters, and if it ends up redefining what it means to be a true open world. If it's like, we made an open world, a literal planet.
Like, that's cool.
When Elden Ring released, it redefined what open world was, and that was a big thing at the time. I remember, but like, it's open world, but there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, I was gonna say, like, most open world games suffer from emptiness.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Elden Ring doesn't. It's got open spaces, but it doesn't feel empty. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, the game isn't actually that big. Once you're, it's big on your first playthrough, and you feel, like there's a ton to explore and everything like that. But the minute you've done a new game, the minute I'd probably say you get to new game +2, your 100-hour playthrough is probably somewhere around 10 to 15 hours.
Yeah.
Like, you know where to go, you know where to get everything. You can go and just steamroll bosses. Like, it's not as big as you would think.
Right.
But it's it's like the illusion of size, if that makes sense. And like using very clever character dynamics to show scale rather than it actually being there. Probably a good example of those is like the Grand Left Dectus, where you need the 2 medallions, and then it's got the massive statues, or the left going down to the Sophia River, and it just takes forever to go down. Now, the maps aren't that big. However, it's that that experience which is making it seem big.
Right.
And it's just very good. Like, it's not that big of a game, but it's just how they've done it is just very smart and very clever. It's like, by the time on my first playthrough, I remember, and it took me a few tries. Like, most good RPGs take me a few tries to get into, I feel, because I try stuff different and I try to get better at it, especially in the early stages. And that's how I kind of know it's a good game. But by the time I got to the mountaintops of the giants, I'd felt like I'd been almost on like a Lord of the Rings type adventure with my character. And at that point, it's like, this is a quest, and that's something you don't really get in other RPGs, especially modern RPGs. And that's mainly because you have Aloy telling me to go visit over there every 5 minutes, or there's a tutorial popping up, or I have to go follow the yellow markers or the quest marker, and it's just
one thing that I liked about Elden Ring was it doesn't hold your hand.
No, like you can go and see stuff again on multiple playthroughs.
Right.
Like, I had not really paid attention. Like, and quests happen without you. That's another thing. Like, you can completely miss a character and then meet them a third way through their quest to go do something. And I think it was the Ronin guy, and I've just finished his storyline. Like, I've just finally seen the entirety of it, and I'm on, again, my 5th playthrough.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's just like, I never paid attention to it. I always killed him for his gear at the start. And, this time I didn't do Millicent's quest because she has a medallion that I wanted, and I killed her for it.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff like that. Like, this time I completely missed out Rykard. I haven't even done him this time. Because he's just optional. Like, I'll probably do Millennia, but maybe not. I might do Millennia, then do the DLC, or just or on my 2nd playthrough, get up to Millennia, then do the DLC. But it's like, it's how I feel like there's a lot of craftsmanship missing in game design these days, and it's very formulaic, is probably the word.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there to maximize profits while reducing costs for development time, but the formulas aren't good formulas. It's like a Ubisoft formula. It's not like a old school BioWare formula or a Larian formula or a FromSoft formula, where they're building on their unique tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember when Ubisoft games were good. You know, now everybody groans whenever one's released.
Oh man.
A test of your literacy.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, sir?
Not wanting to work today, but it's normal.